two of Europe's heavyweights, Spain and England, will square up in the final of the Euro 2024. England edged out the Netherlands in the semi-finals to qualify for the finals. Of course, it's been months and months of quality football, talking about all the football that's been going on in the world of sports. What are your predictions for tonight? Will England come out on top? Is football coming home this night? I want to know your thoughts. Or is football Latina? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Central, and of course, where we talk about all the sports. On the other hand, in the Copa America finals, Lionel Messi's Argentina will face Colombia in the finals of the Copa America. Lionel Messi has been unusually quiet in this tournament, recording just 1 assist and 1 goal in this tournament. A lot of criticism have come to both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in this tournament, talking about we've not seen that flair from them in this tournament so far. Over the years, we've seen these two at the very top of their game. But in this particular tournament, which is sadly the twilight of their careers, we are not seeing that passion, not necessarily passion, the flair we've not always seen from these players. And in the Colombian team, James Rodriguez has recorded 6 assists in this tournament. 6 assists and 1 goal. He's been absolutely solid and formidable for the Colombian national team. Will Colombia covet and take this trophy from Argentina's national team? Also leading up to this tournament, let's talk about all the previous matches and what we've been seeing, what we've expected, what we've witnessed so far, talking about all the lineups from the Copa America, and of course, the Euro 2024. Spain versus England tonight. What are your predictions? Who comes out top? Let's talk about one particular player here, Lamine Yamal. He's been fantastic. 16-year-old Lamine Yamal has been fantastic and rock solid for Spain in this tournament. He has been fantastic, absolutely magical. Lamine Yamal turned 17 on Saturday, and he'll be hoping to get the Euros trophy as a birthday present, of course. Also, there's been a fantastic player so far in this tournament, talking about Nico Williams. He's been fantastic as well. The combination of these two players has been fantastic. They've produced absolute magic for the Spain national team. They've been magical so far. And it's something we've always seen from the Spanish side. They've had this flair over the years. They've always given their 100% on the pitch, talking about that Spanish side that lifted the World Cup in 2010, talking about all the magical players that we've seen from this side so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're joining us right now, we are talking about the Euros and the Copa America final, where the very best of the European continent and the very best of the South American continent will be squaring up. I want to know your predictions in the comment. What are your predictions for talking about this match? I think let's talk about the Spain versus England match. I see personally, I want football to come home, right? I want football to come home, but sadly, well, I say sadly, but it's looking like it's going to be a hard one for England to do here. It's going to be a hard one for England to. I think, Anthony, are you with us now?
Yes, sorry, I had a network glitch. I'm with you now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us, Anthony. So, as I was saying, I was talking about the Euros and the Copa America final, talking about that match in the Euros between Spain and England. Spain and England, what are your predictions, Anthony? What has been your assessment of the tournament so far?
Well, obviously, I'm giving it to Spain. They've been the most amazing team so far in this tournament, and they absolutely deserve their place in the final. And I legit think they're going to take the final. I don't think England is good enough to actually stop them. I don't think they're good enough. They managed to nick it away from Netherlands in the semi-final, but that's the only actually good, decent team they've managed to beat throughout the whole tournament, getting to the final. They had it easy like they always do most
We've
times.
seen England ride their luck down to the final. Many people predicted that England would have left the tournament as far back as the quarterfinals and the round-up system, but England is in the finals. No one, absolutely no one saw that coming. So if they have come this far, I don't think Spain will find it easy. You know, this is tournament football. I keep saying it. This is tournament football, and you never can tell what happens. It's not always the best teams that win tournaments like this, but it comes when it comes down to that grit, when it comes down to that persistence. I think the England national team you see the 90 plus victories in the semi-finals and the quarterfinals. I think they know how to persist sort of and win a game. I think this is going to be a hard one for Spain, though.
Hard one for Spain. You think what I'm thinking? Spain has managed to beat Germany, the host nation, and absolutely one of them. I think the second best performing team in the whole tournament. They managed to beat France too on their way to the final. They've had it tougher, meeting stronger oppositions than England, who've been riding their luck and meeting lesser opponents. Now, not a fair assessment of the other teams they've beaten, but by far, Spain has been team meeting bigger teams through their own routes. England, over the other side, have just met Netherlands. They met in the semi-final. That was the only decent enough team, I would say. They met through their route to the final, and I don't think they actually showed that much they can beat Spain. Spain has been through these tournaments, beating bigger teams, beating amazing teams, beating them convincingly enough. But England has just been riding their luck and running out wins. But obviously, it's a final and a lot of things happen in the final. But I don't think England has an edge to take it away from Spain. They don't. For me, I've given it to Spain. And a comfortable, not really a comfortable win, but a win within the 90 minutes. That's my prediction.
Win within the 90 minutes, but not a comfortable win for Spain, right? So
yes, for Spain,
my money is on England. Football is coming home. We are here. Football will come home.
I don't think you've forgotten the Euro 2020 so far. That was the whole thing we had during that period, and then it did not come home, sadly, for them. But amazingly for us, that wanted them not to win that tournament. So, I guess we'll have to see by 8.
What is your problem with England?
Oh, my problem, I don't have a problem with England. That's the same problem everyone has with them. They massively overrate their players and call them world beaters when they actually done nothing to be the level of world beaters. And then they go ahead and call Jude Bellingham more than what he is. He hasn't been that amazing this tournament. I can actually call a few players that have been more amazing than him. You've got Lamine Yamal, who's an amazing tournament. We've got Nico Williams too in that Spanish squad. And then in the English squad, we have Kobe Mino, who's had a more amazing tournament than he. Well, really? Kobe Mino. I think there are 2 players off the top of my head in the final who's had a more amazing tournament than Jude Bellingham. But obviously, the English media are going to ride the wave of Jude Bellingham every day. And that's most problem with them. They massively overrate their players. And I hope for their sake, well, I really don't hope for their sake. I really want them to get beat. I don't hope for their sake anything. I want them to get beat.
Let's talk about the lead up, the background leading up to these tournaments. Let's talk about our semi-final match between Spain and France.
Okay.
Kylian Mbappe was overshadowed in that game. To be honest, I didn't expect Spain to win France in that particular match, but then we've seen the things that this Spanish side can do over the course of these tournaments. They've shown that they are not here to play around. They kill off games as it's beginning, and they had to come back one in that game to actually win. But let's talk about that match. Did you expect France to lose to Spain in that particular match?
Yeah, I actually did expect them to lose. When Spain managed to win Germany, it was all I was just waiting for them to get to the final and win it from there. It was Germany were obviously the second best performing team in this tournament, and they managed to beat Germany. France hasn't been that amazing this tournament. Yeah, they haven't been actually good enough. Just managed to run out wins. Same story as like England, but then they had to meet a tougher opponent than England did to do their way to the final. So I expected them to get over France and get to the final. And then the France team, they haven't been amazing. And then Mbappe has had a abysmal tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think he only had that penalty. He hasn't had any other goal from open play this tournament. So he's had a very abysmal tournament. You can actually place the blame on his injury, the nose injury he got earlier on in the group stage. But apart from that, he hasn't been at this tournament quite well. So I expected I expected Spain to get to the final, and they did. So we'll have to see what goes on today.
France has been a letdown so far in this tournament. Let me, Lamine Yamal. Let's bring the Ballon d'Or debates right now. Lamine Yamal, you know, let's look at the Ballon d'Or rankings. The Ballon d'Or this year, Lamine Yamal, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Junior. Who has the best chance of winning the Ballon d'Or this year? Who has the bench? I mean, looking at the season so far and everything, who has the best chance of winning winning the Ballon d'Or?
Well, I would say that Ronaldo and Messi have spotted because I've looked at their season. It hasn't been spectacular. Yeah, Bellingham managed to get a few goals in the Madrid team, but then throughout the running of the season, he has been underperforming, and then he underperformed all through these Euros too, just getting a few goals here and there. But he's not a striker. I don't expect him to get a goal every to control the games, to put in place, to control the midfield and things. But then he hasn't been doing that for a whole while. And then you have to Vinicius. He did amazing throughout the club season, and then leading to their run in the Copa America before they got beat by Colombia. He had an amazing tournament, and well, obviously they lost to Colombia. Look at all these things, like it's just a case of picking the worst out of the bunch because none of these players have managed to impress me the way I expect to be impressed in a Ballon d'Or ranking. But then I have to give it to out of all of them. I think I have to give it to Jude Bellingham. I mean, he did not have that amazing season in the club level, but he's turning it up in this Euro at the moment. But obviously, it's not only based on the Euro. You have to look at the club season too. And Bellingham did it in the club season. He won the Champions League, and then he's in the Euro final too. So you have to put that into account. Even though he hasn't been the best, but obviously he's out there at the moment. So I actually give him an edge above the other two. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let the player of the tournament for the Euros. Like looking at this tournament so far, who has been the standout player for you so far in this tournament?
Obviously, Lamine Yamal, he's been the standout player for me in this tournament. I give him the best player of the tournament.
Kobe?
Kobe has been an amazing boy. He did. I don't think he started the first two games. It was after the English manager Southgate got tired of his whole rotating and then started to play him when he got noticed. But I mean, how obviously from the first game he's been out there tearing teams apart. But even when he didn't get goals, he got assists. He built up plays. So he's obviously the standout player of this season, of this tournament.
Of course, Lamine Yamal will be looking to win the Euros to have the perfect 17th birthday gift. Let's move over to the Copa America for a bit, where Argentina will face Colombia in the finals of the Copa America. Argentina again, in the finals. Messi fanboys are definitely going to use this one to score a point,
Yes, that will score the point.
Even though Messi has been silent the entire tournament.
Yeah, I do admit it hasn't been his tournament, but then props to the team because the previous years this team wasn't as good as it is at the moment. But then they've managed to become a team that can play amazing football, not just Messi football. But obviously, it's Messi in your team, you get a boost. He's an amazing player, the best in the world, obviously. But then even without Messi, they managed to get in good shape, beat teams conveniently and comfortably enough. But and seeing the Colombia team also has been turning it out in this Copa. They've been amazing, not short of amazing. They've been amazing teams too. They beat Uruguay, they beat Brazil. So it's going to be a very tough match. And obviously, I'm going to stay up by one to watch the game because I really can't beat this game. I want to see the COPA final.
James Rodriguez. Let's talk about James Rodriguez. That man, 6 assists so far in this tournament and 1 goal. Definitely the outstanding player for Colombia in this tournament. I mean, that's without a doubt. There's some argument that James Rodriguez is not going to win the player of the tournament. I mean, Messi has been silent, but somehow he's still being, pitched to win the player of the tournament. James Rodriguez versus Lionel Messi, who deserves to be the player of the tournament in the Copa America?
James Rodriguez. He's been the most amazing player, not just for Colombia, but in the whole tournament. He got 6 assists. No one has that near that figure.
No one has ever done that, actually.
Oh, no one has ever done that. Yeah, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. He's a standout player for me in the whole tournament. No matter the result, regardless, deserves to win.
Yeah. He's giving us the same James Rodriguez we saw in the 2014 World Cup. You know, that tournament, he was fantastic. And the summer of that year, which he eventually signed for Real Madrid, these were the displays, these were the heroics we saw then. This is the same James Rodriguez at 32, still doing this. What a man. What a man.
Well, he's only 32. That's because the way his club tournament has found out, he's not supposed to be at the level he is now in the club football. But I think he's more of an international tournament player with his country, where he has a defined 10 role. But in most teams, big teams nowadays, the 10 role has been obviously decimated with managers like Guardiola conveniently but done. The whole tactical change in club football these days doesn't make room for traditional number 10s, which he is. But then he's obviously getting the number 10 role that he cherishes and is absolutely amazing at in Colombia's squad. But he's not getting that much in club football. So I think that's the problem. He's only 32. That's like the peak of many players. Benzema won the Ballon d'Or at 32. So obviously he's not supposed to be at the level he is in club football, but sadly he is, which is no fault of his. But that's the way the game is at the moment.
Exactly. Looking at these tournaments, James Rodriguez. Let's a bit about James Rodriguez again. Why do you think James Rodriguez's club career has turned out the way it is? Right. We know the man that he is. What went wrong, Remy? You talked about the traditional number 10 rule not being being phased out, sort of. Let's look at the top European teams. There are certainly teams that James Rodriguez would still suit into and fit in very well. Why is no top club coming for him? What could be the problem here?
Well, obviously, the modern football doesn't really require artists. They require athletes right now, people that can run for the whole 90 minutes. And he's not that bad of a player. He belongs to the old traditional number 10s, people like Snyder, the Ronaldinhos, the Decos, people that you wouldn't describe them as athletes. They're more like artists with the ball, people that can create out of nothing. And that's the type of player he is. But then obviously right now the top teams, they don't require such players. They need you to be able to run the whole 90 minutes, to be able to be a top athlete, which he isn't. He's an amazing footballer, an artist with the ball. Someone can create, he can just whip in goals at any moment. But sadly, you can take a look at Guardiola's team. He doesn't require a number 10 at the moment. They take a look at the Real Madrid team. They got Jude Bellingham, but he's not playing at a 10. He's playing almost as a supporting striker at 8. And that's basically how all the top teams are setting up right now. They phased out the number 10 role, which James Rodriguez thrives in. And he's not a runner, he's not the perfect athlete. He doesn't have the gas in him to run it out for a whole 90 minutes. He deserves to. He's the player that wants to be protected and have people do the chasing for him. But then he's not being afforded. He can't be afforded that type of role in the club football, which is why he's been fading out. And it's something that he needs to work on if he wants to play top tier football before he retires. But I don't think it's a bit too late for him at the moment. He's 32, as I said.
He's 32, still I think still younger than Lewandowski and some other very top players too. Tonight in the Copa Americas final, let's talk about the man, Emiliano Martinez. He's been instrumental in the semi-finals and so far for Argentina in this tournament. do you think he'll be important? He'll be key to Argentina's victory tonight. No, I'm saying victory for Argentina this night. Let me not give the key to Argentina's victory tonight. The man, Emiliano Dibu Martinez. Let's talk about the man for a bit. He's been awesome for them. He's been awesome in the Copa America and in the 2022 World Cup. I mean, Emiliano Martinez.
Exactly. The guy's been amazing. He hasn't had much flowers given to him, maybe because his club career isn't as great as his international football career. But he's been amazing for them. At every tournament they've won, the Copa America, the World Cup, he's been there. His saves, his penalty shootout saves has been put there, has gotten them into positions to win the tournaments. And he's been as instrumental as any other player. Most, I'll give it to him with Messi and him and Di Maria. These are the guys actually, these whole past few years, they've managed to win everything available. I give it to the three of them who's been instrumental more for Argentina. And I hopefully, and not really hopefully, he's obviously going to get a say in the affairs of tonight's football. And I hope that he decides.
Definitely. But Colombia should be looking to kill off the game in normal time, right? Because when it gets to extra time and penalties, Emiliano Martinez is not to be messed around with. He's imposes presence as that man that we always come through for Argentina. So as a team, Colombian national team should be looking to kill off the game in normal time so that we don't have to see Emiliano Martinez get cocky, because it's a very annoying player.
I just found out recently that he has a 50% save in the shootouts. No other keeper in history has that amount, 50% penalty shootout save his record. So he deserves to get all the cockiness he wants, because he's amazing. He's an amazing goalkeeper in shootouts. And for Colombia's sake, I hope they don't let it get to penalty shootouts, because I don't see them win against Argentina when it gets to that. They've got an amazing keeper in Emiliano Martinez. So hopefully they end the match. But I'm a sucker for a longer football, so I obviously want these games to get into the extra time. It gives me more time to enjoy a bit of football. For
You want to stay awake all night?
Well, I don't mind. It's football. I love it. So I wouldn't mind staying awake.
Emiliano Martinez, do you think he has stamped his place as an all-time great in the league of goalkeepers in the world?
Well, what he's won, only a few record of goalkeepers can claim to have won both the COPA and the World Cup. That's like, there are not a lot of goalkeepers that has won that award. So obviously, he deserves his flowers, but I wouldn't rate him as the best or maybe the top 5 best, but he's obviously in the conversation in the top 10 of the world most crowned goalkeepers in history. So yeah, he deserves to be in there.
Definitely a very confident goalkeeper and person. I think after that semi-final match, Lionel Messi, he said Martinez told the team, an interview where Martinez told the team, if he gets to penalties, they should calm down. That it's the confidence he exudes. Like, he's so sure that he's going to save and come through for his team. It's annoying, sort of. If I'm an opposition player, it's annoying to see. But then that is the man. Let's come back to the Euro 2024 finals for a bit. Bukayo Saka, Lamine Yamal, two of them as a player. Obviously, Lamine Yamal has been fantastic in this tournament, but Bukayo Saka, we can't we can't just put away what he's done so far in this tournament. He's been amazing for England so far. He's been deployed to several positions, currently playing at right back for England, and he has delivered every time he has been called upon in this tournament. Do you think he's going to be instrumental in the finals tonight?
Well, it depends on the way the Gareth Southgate sets up his team. Saka has been amazing, but they've not really had a great tournament, but he's turned up when it matters. He's got into positions. He's an amazing team player, getting play a right back and not complaining and then sticking it out for his team. But I don't think he'll have much of a say in the final proceedings. I think I'll leave that for people like Kane, Bellingham, Foden, and obviously they are the guys who get to say in the final for England, actually.
Bukayo Saka, personally, I think those runs he's making from the wing, and I think he's going to have a say. I think. What were your predictions again for tonight's final?
Well, I'm predicting Spain not so much a comfortable win, but a win within the 90 minutes.
A win within the 90 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
It's coming home. England for the win. Are you ready to put your money where your mouth is?
Obviously, you're gonna be back and talk about it, but I'm going for Spain for the win.
England for the win is coming home. The
Oh,
king.
oh yeah,
The king
we've
will
had
live
that lots
forever.
of time before.
All right. Let's move over to the transfer news and the transfer market for a bit. Joshua Zexi, yeah, from Bologna to Man United. It's almost a done deal. That transfer, let's talk about it for a bit. Ineos is doing a lot of they've been doing a fantastic job so far. I mean, going after the likes of Joshua Zexi and Matisse Delete from Bayern Munich. Let's talk about these transfers. Is there like how rate these transfers or these transfers on a scale of 1 to 10? Would it be impactful for Man United, talking about the season they've had so far and moving into the new season? Are these players the key to Man United's team right now? You know, Man United's team has not been, they've not lived up to expectations so far. Joshua Zexi, Marseille's elite, joining this team, would there be any improvement in the side?
Yes, obviously. During the last season, Man U had the second lowest number of goals scored. So obviously they have something missing in the firing departments. And with Martial leaving, they only got Holland as a striker, and then with Zexi signing, it boosts they boost their firepower. And also we had Rafa Varane leave at the end of the last season, so the league joining is balancing the team. I think Ineos is doing a quite marvelous job. He's got also Van Nistelrooy back as an attacking coach for the team, so he's gonna actually drive these young boys to manage to get into positions and manage to get them fit as amazing strikers. But then I don't think the job is done. But these two are very vital signings. They need a defender, they need a striker, and they got both. But they got 60 almost, and elite is still a process. So the amazing signings which are needed and required.
Yeah, look at that Man United attack. You see Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford in that we have a 21-year-old Rasmus Højlund in that Man United team, and you are signing a 23-year-old Joshua Zexi, who doesn't have any sort of Premier League football experience, you know, almost the same age. I mean, I just want to get what's like the rationality behind the signing. I'm sort of on the opposition. I'm sort of a critic right now as to why would Man United sign a player, a 23-year-old player who has no form of Premier League experience. Is it as a backup to Rasmus Højlund, or he's going to be the stand-up, the striker, the main striker for Man United? I want to see your views. Let me. You wanted to say something.
We obviously not know who's going to be the backup and the start until the season starts. We're not Ten Hag, but looking at it, I think Ineos and Ten Hag they are trying to build a young team that can grow within the few seasons. It's not going to be just a one in and dollar or one in out about to start a team, and they don't want to get an older striker which just phase out in 2 3 years. They're trying to build a team, a young team that can manage to play amazing football in a few coming years. But obviously, if you look at the Real Madrid team, they've got Bellingham, they've got Vinicius, they've got Rodrigo, and they've added Mbappe. All these guys are under 25 years, and they're playing amazing football. So I don't think the age requirement matters a lot than what he can do. So if he's a good footballer that can manage to fit into the system, combined with his teammates, it doesn't matter his age. They're going to tear up in the Premier League, and hopefully that's what I want to see next season.
Yeah, hopefully he gets. I am of the opinion there's Ivan Toney, Brentford. I mean, he's looking to leave. Players like these who have Premier League football experience. These are the players I think Man United should be looking out for. They've proven themselves consistently over the years in the Premier League. if I'm being honest, Joshua Zexi was not, he was fantastic in his Italian Serie A last year, but he wasn't that exceptional, sort of. And so far, we've seen so little of him in the Euros. I, for a person, can't actually say the kind of player Joshua is, but hopefully he gets to add to that Man United team. And as a fan, I really hope he's successful at the club, of course.
Yeah, me too as well.
So let's look at that Man United team. Who are the players you think, which areas do you think Man United needs improvement? Potentially, we have Joshua Zexi, and of course, we have the leads. The midfield, any improvements?
Yes, obviously they need a lot of improvements in the midfield. Casemiro is no longer in the midfield, and we've got McTominay, who's not really a straight up midfielder for you. He just comes in as he's an average footballer. So, sorry, pardon. They need a lot of recruitments done in that midfield. I think the only player I can look up and say he's for the future is Kobe Mino, which is an academy player. But then still, and then Bruno Fernandez, obviously. But then they really need a lot of recruitments for the midfield positions. And not just that, I think they're not done yet with the attacking positions. Rashford has been a letdown last season and the season before, and he hasn't really clicked for Manu since his debut season and the 2 seasons before that. Before the last season that ended, where he managed to get 30 goals, his first time getting 30 goals for Man United in a season. And so they need to bolster the squad. He's obviously not the guy you go to when you want to build a world star team. So, and then they really need a massive overhaul. The same like Ragnick said when he managed United, they need a massive overhaul. They need to let players go. They need to sign in up to 9, 10 players. And that's what Man needs. It's not just about getting one or few players in the defense and midfield in attacking department. They need a massive overhaul, like 6 players coming at once to fill in the team.
If you were in Ten Hag's shoes now, who is staying and who is leaving for you?
Well, obviously there are a lot of guys that I would let go in this team. Someone like Rashford, I'm letting him go. He hasn't been he's not money for 8 seasons, but he hasn't given us that quality. I'm letting him go. And then you got to let people like McTominay go. Maybe he could stay. He's a utility player, but he's not really going to be a starter for me. Then you've got at the right hand side, you got Ahmad. You've got what's the other guy's name? I keep forgetting his name.
Ahmad is staying for you.
Pardon?
Ahmad is staying. He's staying.
Yeah, he's staying. He's an amazing prospect. He's still young. I believe he can develop as a player. And then you got at the midfield, everything needs to go. He's an amazing footballer, but he's way past his time. It's not doing much again. And then you've got Mount. Well, it was his first season, but I was maybe caused by injuries too. But I wasn't impressed with the guy at all. But I think I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for a full season without injury. So he's got to stay. Then you've got the defense. Well, Maguire has been amazing several times, and then we've got the lead. So the defense has been scanty. So I don't really go by the thought of letting players leave in defense. They need to do more recruitment with also Kampala leaving Man United to Villarreal. So they've got to sign a lot of defenders. And yeah, I think these are the players they need to let go of them. And they're letting go. They don't really have much players to let go. The team is doing a bit scanty. They need to.
Bruno Fernandez. You haven't talked about Bruno Fernandez. It's not intentional.
Yeah, I think I would let him stay at Man United.
Okay.
He's not that amazing footballer, but then in the place where United team that last quality, he's a standout player for. He's been a standout player for many seasons right now, because the team actually has no quality. They have no squad depth, and so he's been playing games.
I think Bruno Fernandez will walk into a Chelsea team. He will walk into a Liverpool team. He will walk into the Arsenal team. I mean,
he wouldn't walk into the Arsenal team. Actually, I don't see him playing ahead of. I don't see him playing ahead of Rice, ahead of what's that his name, the Norwegian guy, like
Odegaard.
yeah, I
Odegaard.
don't see him ahead of Odegaard too. So I don't think he walk into the Arsenal team. Maybe the Chelsea's team, they're still trying to figure a lot of things out, and that's just for them. But then he's not that amazing player that walk into any top team in the world. He doesn't just have it for me. He's not. He's
Bruno
a decent
Fernandes is
player.
he's that kind of player that gives you results. He produces those. I would argue that if he was in a better team, if he was in a Man City team, Arsenal team, he would have tons of assists. Those balls, the problem in Man United is that the finishing product, he makes those runs, he creates those chances, but then there's no one to finish it. It's the end product that is the problem. So if he is in a seat in a team like Manchester City, Erling Haaland makes the runs, Bruno Fernandes creates the chances. I mean, he will do absolutely fantastic.
Well,
It's not. Look at him in the Portugal team. He's a key player for them.
I look at him and the podcast. Portugal hasn't been that amazing. They play weaker teams and they manage to bounce them with goals. But in the tournaments, it's come against come short against top teams too. So and then he hasn't been. I wouldn't call him amazing in the Portugal shirts. He's just there putting the proper shift, but I don't see him stand out anytime for me. I'm sorry, that's just the player. He's a decent enough player, but not really a world beater. Not the level of De Bruyne for me. Sorry.
Do we have any world-class players in Man United?
Where? Sorry.
Do we have any world-class players in Man United?
At the moment, no, we do not. Not even one.
Sad.
No, sadly, yes, we don't have any world-class player at Man United.
Of course, let's talk about some of the other transfer news. There has been some beats. Bruno Fernandes, I think he's been approached by Saudi clubs. Bruno leaving Man United at this point. Do you think that's going to be a big blow for Man United, considering the place that we are right now, the place that Man United, I keep saying that we are as if the place that Man United is right now as a team. Bruno Fernandes leaving the club this summer, is that going to be a problem?
I don't think it would. They need to start building a team, not dependent on Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, in the past years, he's been there, no constant. They don't have a natural replacement for him. And that's why I think they've been doing wrong. No player enduring to, in this particular team, to have a permanent place. They are not all good enough. None of them are good enough. So I think he's among the players that I don't think Man United would miss. I think Man United would be better off if he manages to leave him and Rashford too. They are the dominant players in the team that managed to get into this match day in, day out, but they're not good enough for me. And I would actually love them. I would love him in particular and Rashford too, if they can lead the team and let other players who wants to play in for the badge, who are good enough tactically and talent wise to come in. So I think that's for me.
Comment. Do you have any players in mind?
Any players in mind?
I mean, look at the transfer market, available players. Which specific profile of players do you think would fit into this Man United team, considering the areas they are lacking?
I wouldn't advise any player to actually go for Man United. Man United doesn't have the star power to attract players at the moment. They're in the Champions League. They're not playing amazing football. They've not won the Premier League for more than 11 years now. So even the players, I don't even think any viable player available. Because I've considered someone like Jamal Musiala, but he's obviously not going to leave Bayern Munich to come to United as underperforming. Then if you look at teams like Madrid, they've got Mbappe on a free. That's how they get players for measly signings because they are at that place. They command the respect. They've got the Champions League. They've got the titles to actually get players to sign for them on a low, not spending much. So mine are not at that position yet. They were, but then at the moment they are not.
In terms of transfer fees, but then there's also the aspect of the salaries, right? You have to pay Kylian Mbappe the salary. That's big salary as a star player.
If it's not United we're talking about, they don't have problems paying players big salaries. Like that's one of the major issues since Alex Ferguson left. They are massively overpaying players. They are paying Rashford more than 300. They paid the game more than 300. They are paying Alexis more than 400. So they don't have problems paying players massively. who are overrated and giving them those big paydays, which is a recruiting problem for them and displaces the balance of the team. So I think that's among the issues they are facing. Thank you.
Okay, Jordan Sancho back to Man United training. I mean, we didn't know. No one ever thought that Jordan Sancho will ever come back to Man United training. Apparently, he's reached an agreement with Eric Ten Hag, and they have a mutual agreement. Jordan Sancho will be a Man United player in the coming season. Is this when you were mentioning players that will stay back and leave Man United, you didn't mention Jordan Sancho. Is there a reason for that?
I actually slipped my memory. I saw the video of the training, and I I actually thought for a while that he was not gonna come back because I already written me off. And then it's a massive disappointment for me seeing him back in the Man United team after the whole stunts he put last season. Man United were at the place they were injury ravaged at that point in the season. They did not have the players, and then he opted to get in the fight with the coach and leave. And then now he's back, and everything is just gonna smooth over. I think that's one of the issues Man United is getting wrong. They look like a team that can't handle players, a bullshit team. And I actually feel sorry for them because in no world class team to be able to get a player run rings around them like that. But Sancho has obviously done that. He is comfortable enough to disrespect the coach, let his teammates down in a time where they needed him, and go off to another team, and then come back, walk back into the team, and nothing happened. So I don't think that was a good look for the team. If I were in people in charge, I would actually let him go because he's already shown he's not good enough for the 3 4 seasons he's been at Man United. And then the cameo he went to for Dortmund, he just got 3 goals and 3 assists over the 6 months he's been there. It wasn't that amazing. It was just media hyping it up and trying to shame Ten Hag. It wasn't that amazing. He hasn't been that amazing for years. I don't think I would let him stay in the team. So it's just one of those things that I just saw as stupid. He has no business being back in the Man United team for me. So,
He has no business. Well, let's look at that incident with between Eric Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho for a bit. I mean, you called out a player in public, said he's lazy and whatnot. Sancho coming out to the media to sort of defend himself? I think a lot of people would not agree with Ten Hag. You know, you called out a player in public as a professional. You called him out saying he's not doing what he's supposed to do as a professional footballer. And he came out to defend himself.
I think that was not the case. They asked Ten Hag during the interview if why Sancho wasn't in this match squad. He said he did not train hard enough. He didn't call him lazy. He just said he did not train. There's just an open-ended statement that could have meant a lot of things. Maybe he was sick. Maybe he wasn't feeling up to it or something. But then he took it upon himself to come out and bash his manager and the team. That's like something you don't do. We've seen Ferguson handle minor players. He's handled world class teams and amazing players in terms of Roy Keane, Ferdinand, Rooney, even Beckham. Beckham was a quality star player. None of them actually had the guts to come out to him and say things like that. Like this shows the extent football has gone down for players to flip on their managers online for the whole world to see. I don't think the Hag was in the wrong. This is like something that even Gadol has managed to do in his time. They asked him about what was it players. Calvin Phillips said he was overweight. Calvin Phillips did not go on Twitter to bash Guardiola for calling him overweight. He got to work, and this is like something that Sancho lacks. He lacks maturity to be a star for Man United, and he's not good enough for me. He wasn't a bit.
Look at Jordan Sancho and what he's doing. I mean, I think he has the technical ability to be a world beater, and it's just a problem of the manager not getting the best out of him. I mean, if I talk about this, you talk about his stints in Dortmund, right? But he's a fantastic player, and we've seen him over the years do it at Dortmund. He has done it at several clubs, and I think he still has the potential to contribute to this Man United team. But as a fan, I mean, he disrespected the club for me.
Mm.
That crossed the line. But of course, if that reached a resolution, I don't mind seeing Sancho back in this team. I mean, he's a fantastic footballer, and he's going to be a valuable addition to any team.
So is it? Well, I look at the Man United team. I'm just doing the crop of players they've got at the moment. Well, in the when Alex Ferguson was in charge, you had people like Nani on the bench. Nani is a player who obviously at his prime he walked into this team ahead of every other attacker in this team. But then that time they had Rooney, they had Ronaldo, they had Tevez. Even when they left, they had Babatunde, they had amazing players of talent. I don't think Sancho manages to beat any of these players in terms of talent and quality. And then these players had the chance to get them to work. So you're saying he's a massive talented player. I've seen players who are more talented play for United, and we've got no issues with them. But then he's just not that kind of player. He's talented, obviously, but not at the level which they would say he would be an absolute beast for United, not capitalizing on. He's not that amazing, but obviously that's the level Man United are. They don't have the star quality to attract big players at the moment, so they can let chance to stay
Well,
up and spread the team. No one cares anymore.
I think generally there's been a drop of quality in the quality of players we have right now than what we used to see back in the day. Back in the day, we saw the likes of Ronaldinho, we saw the likes of I mean, during the prime years of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, these were players who won the Ballon d'Or with 30 plus goals a season. But right now, in terms of quality, we cannot compare quality to what we saw back in the day to what we have now. So Jadon Sancho might actually be a very decent player in his own right with the current standards we have.
Yes, you do have a point right there. I think I was reading somewhere there's an argument that's raised among football fans. They said that they're actively trying to make footballers to stop playing in the artistic style, the bonito of the Brazilians, the type of football the Messi plays, like they are making them into team footballers instead of individual footballers. They are coaching them at that early age to drop those kind of traits, those kind of qualities, just to be able to be into the modern football style at the moment. You got the pass back, like the whole telegraph systematic football that we've come to see these days. I think that's actually quite sad. And if this continues, obviously the quality of players is going to drop more and more as the time goes by.
Is that the Guardiola effect?
Yeah, I think that has managed to be one of the highest proponents. We saw, looking at Jack Grealish, we saw him at Aston Villa. He was training up his run at defenders, dribbling, but then now he's just looking at a shell of the player he was. Nothing entertaining about him, nothing amazing about him, and he too doesn't look like a happy player too. Obviously you're not going to be a player playing not the way you want, but just the way that to fit into the system. But I think that's like most teams are adopting it these days, just telegraphing passes and no exciting thing about football, sadly, anymore. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Guardiola has managed to win trophies. He's a fantastic coach, I mean, in his own right. But we see the way his team plays. And every team is trying to play like Guardiola. Every manager is trying to play like Guardiola. I mean, I don't see that as it's his style. And every team trying to be like Guardiola shouldn't be a Guardiola problem. It shouldn't. If you create your own style.
Well, obviously, people are going to emulate him because he's out there winning trophies after trophies. I don't think
Yeah,
I can remember he went trophyless. So obviously, he's gonna be the go-to guy when you look at great teams. He dominates teams, but then he plays blank football, and most times I can't stand seeing looking at City play. They are not. They play blank football, just pass from side to side. In the case of him managing Baka, it worked because that Baka team had an array of amazing players that actually get you off your feet. But then these particular group, these is City players, they're not exciting to watch. They go in, they pass teams to death, they get goals, and it ends. And they're not excited watching his team, which good for him. He manages to win games and win trophies, but I don't like watching his City team play at all.
But you love watching Barcelona team.
I love watching him play.
His Barcelona team.
Yes, I love watching his personal team. I don't think it was his plan. Maybe just being biased because they actually players I love. Then they had Javi, they had Iniesta, they have Messi. They have players that could run rings around you that could light up the pitch. But seeing looking at his team, like it's just a bland poor football, like not really poor football, but entertaining entertaining football is poor. Thank you.
We knew Guardiola for the tiki taka style and what he did at Barcelona, right? When you look at
Yes.
this side, they still embody the elements of that tiki taka football, right? So I think personally, I think this side is fantastic, and I enjoy watching them. They play like Arsenal City. These are two of my favorite football playing teams. Like in terms of pure football quality, I mean, okay, your problem is with the individual football display, and
Yes.
I want to know how City is not entertaining right
Yes,
now.
they are facing out the individual football. Like you watch a City player and uh, 10 minutes pass of play, no player would attempt a dribble. Even Jack Grealish wouldn't attempt a dribble. He would just give him the ball. He looks for the next available teammate. He passes it back. The same with Foden on the flanks. And like I've gone watched football from a young age, and wingers lead up the team. They manage to go there. They dribble at the touch lines, but then no, they don't do that no more. They just go at the touch line. They look for the nearest opponents. Sorry, teammates. They go and pass it back. The individuality is now gone. Like we just have a group of players passing to each other and outpacing teams. That's just it at the moment. And it's not extending to me at all. I want to see players attempt dribbles, light up teams, beat players, and go ahead like create solo goals. And his back team was amazing because he had Messi that could do that. And no matter how much he had played tiki taka, Messi was going to be Messi. He's going to go off the dribbles and like complete them and give you amazing solo goals. Then this City team, no player does it. Like actually, no player does it at all. The most for them could do could be to strike the ball from a distance and score bangers, but that's just it. The team is lost its flair and just the whole team, no individualism again, does the whole bland
That's
passing from left to right.
the football philosophy in our time. Hopefully, I get to see you buy a football club and implement your principles.
Oh,
As for
oh.
now, the manager is city manager is the manager is getting the job done, and I'm sure the owners are happy. But as fans, as football lovers, of course, we want to see those individual displays. We want to see players break up the fence and create individual solo performances. Right, Nico Williams. We when we were talking about Lamy, oh, Messi just the view of Messi now just. You remember the Ankara Messi goal?
Who doesn't remember that Messi goal? Who doesn't? There's no football fan that who doesn't remember the goal.
Ankara Messi goal. I mean, no. I'm a Ronaldo fan, but yeah, let me leave it at
All
that.
right, no
Let me
problem.
leave it at that. We also have players like that are lighting up these wheels. Lamine Yamal, he's available on in the market right now. He's available right now. Is Man United snoozing?
I don't think
Bye.
he's available. But Barcelona are gonna do everything to tie him down, and then he at the moment would not want to leave Barcelona. So him technically being available is just for what's sake. He'll not be available. I think who's available, I think, will be Nico Williams. And he's an amazing player, but he's gonna want to stay in Spain and maybe Barcelona is gonna look like a pretty good destination for him. So I think both of them are not that much available for outsiders.
Who are Nico Williams? Nico Williams is Nico Williams will always be available for outsiders. It's Lamine Yamal that's the problem. It's all about the money, right?
Uh,
I think Barca is doing well financially right now. They can afford Joan Laporta said they can afford to go for Nico Williams, but I don't see Athletic Bilbao rejecting a very big bid from outside of Spain, right? So
amazing.
what are your predictions? Let's move over to the Copa America final for a bit. Briefly, can you tell me your predictions for the Copa America final before we leave the studio?
Okay, well, yeah, I'm obviously gonna go with Spain winning by 2 goals to 1. That's my prediction for the final. I'm sorry, as
Okay,
Argentina.
that's the Euros.
I was thinking about the Euros, the Copa America. I'm going for Argentina. a 2-1 win over Colombia. Thank you.
La Colombia.
Yeah.
Yes, you hear my Spanish, right? My Latina. Colombia for the win.
Better for you. Your Spanish sucks anyway.
Come on. La Mesia, la Ankara Messi. Spanish. Of course, it's been a very interesting conversation this afternoon talking about the Copa America final and the Euro 2024 finals, where England will face Spain in the Euro 2024 final. Euro 2024, who takes the crown? Who is going to be crowned King of Europe? Tonight at 8 o'clock Nigerian time, the Euro 2024 final will start. What are your predictions for the finals? Tell us in the comments. You might be lucky to win a prize if you're correct, if your prediction is correct. For the Copa America, Argentina will face Colombia in that final in the early hours of tomorrow. I mean, talking about Nigerian time, 2 o'clock Nigerian time. That's when the match is going to happen. Tell us your predictions in the comments, and you might stand a chance to win a prize. It's been interesting talking about sports this afternoon with my brother, the sports journalist, the big name, the sports guru. Thank you very much for coming this afternoon. And
thank you very much, Elder.
I
I
hope
appreciate
football comes home.
it.
Football is
Right.
coming home.
We'll have to see about that from 8. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. And with that, we say good afternoon and have a nice day.
I'm going off.
Yeah, we are done.